What is Taiko?
Taiko is stress relief.
Taiko's challenging!
I mean, it's very interdisciplinary.
Taiko is something that vibrates my soul.
The term taiko refers to both an instrument as well as a performance practice. Taiko as an instrument has a long history in Japan and was used in festivals and religious ceremonies. The drums themselves had existed for a long time within the Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples in Japan and the United States. Taiko in its current iteration is a much newer genre than most existing Japanese musical forms beginning in the 1960s and 70s. At this time, taiko evolved into a form of kumidaiko, or ensemble taiko. Kumidaiko incorporates the use of different instruments and taiko of varying sizes and timbres, and takes on a much more dynamic form than its traditional counterpart. It is in this form that taiko became prominent in America, specifically in the case of West Coast Asian American communities.
Kaoru Watanabe is a professional taiko performer and teacher. He instructs taiko classes at several colleges across the country and is currently instructing the taiko class at Dickinson College.
So even within Japan, there's a huge range of traditions, especially in traditional music, but also in this contemporary form. There's not a lot of kind of crossover with the different lineages. So even the way we teach will differ according to what tradition you're coming from, even within Japan. And so it's even more spread out, it's even more diluted coming to the United States. I think like anything, it's almost a juxtaposition of very different cultures, and that often will lead to a very new, wonderful thing.
Sean Bender is a professor in the East Asian Studies Department at Dickinson College. He recently published a book on taiko in Japan entitled Taiko Boom. Professor Bender instructs the lecture portion of the taiko class and is the advisor for the taiko club on campus. We interviewed Professor Bender about how taiko has manifested in America and, on a smaller scale, how it came to Dickinson.
It originally had its roots in North America in these ethnic communities, and it's kind of a celebration, expression of an ethnic identity, ethnic pride in being Japanese or Asian, a kind of musical form which was exciting and dynamic and very loud. I think that was something that was appealing to a lot of people in those communities. And then has since been brought into many college curricula as well as a way of getting students, or building on students' interest in taiko, as a way of getting them interested in also a kind of performance of Japanese culture.
In this section, Professor Bender and Watanabe Sensei talk about how taiko has developed at Dickinson and how the study of taiko fits into the liberal arts agenda.
Obviously it's a research interest of mine, but the reason why I did the class was not only to build on that, the knowledge that I had and bring that into the curriculum in East Asian Studies, but also to more respond to the student interest in starting the Taiko Club.
As far as a program, course, it's a brand new course, and so even when I first came there, all the drums weren't even here yet. And so it's kind of a neat experience for me to really start from scratch and see where things can go within a short amount of time.
And it contributes to the curriculum here at Dickinson in that it's a nice way of joining together students who are interested in East Asian studies and students who are interested in music, or students who are interested in music and maybe are interested in East Asian studies. Why is it that say departments of East Asian Studies or music have found taiko useful as a way of generating student interest in Japanese culture? Well, I think one of the things is, and I have even had people in Japan tell me this about one of the things that's good about taiko from a musical perspective is you sort of touch it, you can hit it and it'll make a sound.
Working with college students is, as an educator in general, it's good to work with young kids. They have a totally different sense of rhythm and learning styles and what they latch on to. Also, the diversity within just saying college students is huge. There's some people who have very little musical background, some people have a lot of musical background or dance background. So for me, it's a great challenge.
I think one of the reasons why Taiko has been successful, and I don't even get to this in the book, but it was always an idea I had in my mind, is that there are no words associated with it. So there's no kind of linguistic filter between you and the art form. As much as we think of it as this kind of performing art from Japan, or a Japanese performing art that American students are participating in, it's really more accurate to say that they're in a way also kind of creating and shaping it at the same time.
Not only have we learned how Taiko has grown in America, but how Taiko has branched into college campuses through the lens of Dickinson College. Through this study, we have come to understand Taiko's role within the college community, but also how it contributes to the international identity, which is core to Dickinson's key values. The class has not only provided students with a chance to put their classroom knowledge into practice, but has allowed students to experience a form of non-Western music firsthand.
There has been a North American Taiko conference since the late 90s, but now one of the people who's involved in that is very interested in starting a world Taiko conference that will bring together groups from the US as well as Japan, as well as Europe, South America, to all sort of celebrate the world musical form now of Taiko. So that hopefully happens sometime maybe next year, the year after. So that's kind of, I think it's indicative of sort of Taiko's move out of those communities and into more of a kind of global art form.
Taiko's challenging!
For me, is this weird that I'm like suddenly jumping in the shot? I don't know. Now that I think about it.
But
No, it's fine.
I mean,
Yeah. That should definitely be in there somewhere.
Here's the soundtrack.
Nicely color coordinated today.
yeah, we
How did you first become interested in Taiko?
Yes.
So was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us about that a little bit.
Answer.
Oh.
That wasn't recording. Oh my god.